Last year, I actually covered a local crime story on my channel where I venture into Baghdad and mention how it received its name. Right as we were leaving the park, Teresa noticed one of the many informational marker posts and was rather surprised at the answer.
It's actually named after Baghdad.
You know why, right?
Well, I do now.
This town lies in between two rivers.
And they built
the
it
Blackwater, the creek, Pond Creek.
And Tigris and Euphrates.
Tigris and Euphrates in Baghdad and Iraq, so that's why.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're a first-time viewer, I'm happy you found me. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, and click the notifications for new content. Again, welcome, and let's get into the story. My first video about the Baghdad mill site never went into a lot of detail about one of the former owners, Joseph Forsyth, who was the founder of Baghdad, the historical village located within Milton, Florida in Santa Rosa County, and my hometown. Forsyth was an active promoter of business for the region in industrial development and internal improvements. He was born in Connecticut in 1802, and his family moved to New Orleans in 1810, where his father worked as a ship captain before relocating to Pensacola, Florida about 10 years later. Something that caught my attention while noticing the decade that the Forsyth family lived in while residing in New Orleans was that during the 1810s, they would have been there during the Battle of New Orleans, which took place in early 1815. It was the last battle to take place that ended the War of 1812. It was extremely hard to find any information about his family's life during that time, and makes me wonder if his father, who was a ship's captain, was involved during the famous battle led by General Jackson. If you want to know more about the Battle of New Orleans, I suggest watching my video about the Andrew Jackson Hotel, which includes the story about the famous battle and the significance of the location where I stayed. By 1828, after moving east and leaving Pensacola for Santa Rosa County, Forsyth bought a piece of land on Pond Creek, known today as Arcadian Mill, and was Florida's first textile factory. Along with his business partner, E.E. Simpson, and the rest of his associates, they transformed Arcadia into a thriving lumber industry for the county, and named it the Forsyth and Simpson Company. By the late 1830s, Joseph Forsyth became the guiding force behind the Arcadia water-powered industrial park on Pond Creek, who realized that steam engines were the wave of the future. After acquiring another plot of land in 1840, about 4 miles away on Blackwater River, he established the town of Baghdad. It started out as a small village and was first called Baghdad by Forsyth. He and his business partners relocated here, known as the Baghdad Lumber Mill, which operated until 1939, for almost 100 years, where Pond Creek meets Blackwater River to better facilitate the production and transportation of their lumber products. Forsyth continued building, setting up a sash factory, and converting the Arcadia site into Florida's first textile factory. He married Cordelia M. Creary in 1849 and fathered 4 children, all girls. He went on to serve in the Florida Senate from 1852 to 1854. 1 year later, in 1855, Joseph Forsyth died and is buried in the Baghdad Historic Cemetery that overlooks the village. His grave is marked by a 9-foot-tall granite monument. One of his daughters, Elizabeth, who died of yellow fever in 1852 at 15 months of age, is buried next to him. But when I explored the family plot, only he and his young daughter are buried there, or at least the only 2 with markers. I don't know how the rumor was started, but some people believe he is buried standing up, facing the town and the mill site that he loves so much. I highly doubt this is true because although the monument is quite large, it isn't large enough for someone to be buried in an upright position. Plus, I could find no reliable source that tells me otherwise. But it does remind me of another story with similarities, only this story is actually true. So let me briefly tell you about the rocking chair grave. I have been to a cemetery with various odd graves before in Natchez, Mississippi. At the Natchez City Cemetery, where one in particular is a man by the name of Rufus E. Case, who was buried in a pyramid-shaped tomb. His daughter, like Forsyth's, who most likely died of yellow fever at the age of 7, is also beside him, but is buried in the ground and inside the tomb. She died before her father, and when Mr. Case passed, his dying wish was to be next to his daughter, sitting in his rocking chair, facing toward his beloved home, the state of Louisiana. Just like Joseph Forsyth, they both lost a daughter who are buried beside them, and both facing in the direction of the places they loved. For new content and breaking news stories, please be sure to click the notifications to follow along and be notified when updates are available. Don't forget to like, comment, and please feel free to share. You can also join my Facebook group for True Crime and History Time and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. My usernames for those platforms are @Jerry_Scarborough Official. And as always, thank you for watching, subscribing, and supporting my channel.